Howdy folks, today's video is all of the audiobooks I read in 2024 because there are a lot, and so I had to split up the books I read versus the audiobooks that I listened to into two different videos because it was way too long. So let's get on with it. Okay, because there's a lot of these, I'm basically just gonna say genre, did I like it, and if it's like why or not. The first audiobook that I read is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This one is like a mystery, and I think it's adult, and it had a bunch of wacky stuff in it, and I didn't love it. But this was at the beginning of the year, so I don't fully remember what it was about, but it was just a mystery and a bunch of found family people. There's like a betrayal. Time to stop itching. That's loud. And then I read If We Were Villains, which is basically the same thing as In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, but the Shakespeare version. And I didn't love those two, so they were both mysteries and pretty much the same premise. Okay, so the next book I listened to is Dune. This is sci-fi, and it was really good. It's super long, and then we watched the movie, which was also good, but it deviated from the book, obviously, because when did they ever get it right? But yeah, that was a good book. Then I listened to Love and Gelato. This was the most adorable YA romance book ever. It was so cute. It had a little bit of mystery in it too. It was great. Then I listened to Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and that was good. It's adult, and there's some inappropriate talk, so older people should read it. Not my favorite. I skipped over some parts, but I wanted to read it so that I could read another one, Yours Truly, but I actually read that physically. I didn't listen to it. I really liked that book. I think it had like a very subtle spice scene, but it's easy to skip over and you don't really miss much. Then I listened to Percy Jackson, Chalice of the Gods. This is the newish one from last year, and then now there's another new one. It was interesting, not my absolute favorite. I feel like even after Percy and Annabeth have aged, they haven't matured much, and Grover too, but he ages different, so it's different for him. But that one's good. Then I listened to The Swift. This is a kid's book. It's kind of a mystery. It's a dictionary of scoundrels because all the people have a name from the dictionary. Like, the girl is Felicity, I think. Or no, Felicity is her sister. I forgot what her name is, but it was okay. I DNF'd it, but I'm sure it's a good kid's book. Then I listened to One Dark Window. I also DNF'd that. I got really far through it, and then there was like, I don't know. It was good. I should actually finish that, but I just haven't. It's fantasy, I think. And then I listened to First Lie Wins. This is a adult mystery, but it wasn't like super gory or anything, and it was really interesting to me. It was kind of confusing, but it was really good. I liked it, enjoyed it. There was some like bits of a romance, and I think there was some talk of inappropriate stuff, but I don't really remember, and I always skip over stuff, so I don't know if there was anything in that book. Hopefully not. But it is adult, so just be aware. Then I listened to You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. This is also a mystery. I just could not get into it, and I did not really like it. There was too much going on and too much backstory that I couldn't care less about, and didn't have anything to do with the story, so not my favorite. It was a decent mystery, so I don't know. Just didn't love it so much. Then I listened to Pride and Premeditation. This is a spin-off of Pride and Prejudice, and it was good. It's not like it was amazing or anything, but it was fun. It was a little mystery in the Pride and Prejudice world with all the same characters and stuff. Then I listened to Dance of Thieves. Oh, it's right here. By Mary E. Pearson, and this one was really good. It's a fantasy romance, and yeah, it was pretty good. Not my absolute favorite either, but it's like 4-ish star, 3.75, that sort of thing. Then I listened to The Only One Left by Riley Sager, I think, and that one was really good. It was kind of like intense and kind of confusing, and there was so much going on, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. The premise was super good. And I think that one's adult too, but it's like not gory. I don't think they swear much, and I don't think they talk about much stuff, so it's just adult because it's like mature topics, I guess. But that one was really good. It was interesting, fun to listen to. Then I listened to Sense and Second Degree Murder. This is also a spin-off of Sense and Sensibility, and it's also the murder mystery. That one was also really good. Then I listened to The Burning Bridge and The Icebound Land, the part of the Ranger's Apprentice series, the second and third book. And they were actually really interesting. I love them. I'm not sure if I could read the whole series. I think there's 10 books, but it was good. I enjoyed it, and I'd like to listen to more of them if they have them on Libby. I don't know if they do, but they're actually really interesting. There's just like fantasy, like King Arthur kind of sort of thing. Then I listened to Same Time Next Summer. This is a romance. I'm pretty sure it's adult, but I don't think there was spice in it. Loved Same Time Next Summer. And then I listened to Summer of Broken Rules. That one definitely doesn't have spice, and it was really cute and fun and interesting. Then there was Things You Save in a Fire by, I think that's Catherine Center. That was so good. It was like sad because she always has heavy, not always, a lot of the time she has like heavier topics, and it was really good. Then I listened to The Fury, not Fury. That one was a mystery, not my favorite thing ever. It's Alex Michaelides or something, and I'm not a fan of his writing, but it was interesting. Then I listened to Unravel Me, part of the Shatter Me series. That one was really good. Also, that one probably wasn't my favorite of the series. So far, I've only listened to the first 4. It was good. It added to the story. Not my favorite. It made me hate a character. Then I listened to Liar's Beach. This is a mystery. Kind of weird. I think it has too much like crass talk for my taste, but it was interesting. Not my favorite though. Then I listened to Caress, the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles series. It's massive, so I didn't feel like reading it all. And this is good. I really like how Marissa Meyer writes these books. They're like sci-fi fairy tale retellings, and yeah, I really like them. All the characters are so funny, and yeah, it's just really good. Then I listened to Castles in Their Bones. My friend actually recommended this to me, and it was fun. It was interesting. The first book held my attention a lot, and it was like really good and interesting. And then I listened to the second book, and it was okay. I was just like dragging along the whole time, but then I listened to the 3rd book, and I think I stopped halfway through because I just lost interest. But the whole series is good. It's also like royalty, old days. There's magic. It's pretty good, and it's an interesting storyline. Then I listened to When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. This is also an interconnected standalone series. Also some inappropriate talk, but I don't think there's any spice at all. They were really fun, interesting, but they're adult, but no spice. Then I DNF'd The Perfect Assassin because it just was not in, I was not in the mood, and it was like not the right book for me. I think it's like fantasy. It's kind of like Dune setting because it's in the desert, and this guy is supposed to be an assassin but doesn't want to be, and he has to train to be an assassin. Then I listened to Hotel Magnifique, but I left that in the other room. It's because I started reading it and I got like a quarter or halfway through, and I just could not keep going. So I had to listen to it because I wanted to like it, and it was good. I just could not get into it. That's also fantasy. It's like mystical, almost like Caraval, but different at the same time. Then I listened to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This is a cozy fantasy, and I absolutely loved it. It was so fun. There was more action than I would think for a cozy fantasy, but that made it so much better for me because I love action. And I'm so excited to read the next 2 books. Then I listened to The Selection, all 3 of them. I think there's like 2 more that are kind of after the series, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but the first 3 are fantastic. I didn't think I'd like them, and it's like, I think it's Regency romance, I think that's what you call it. It's like The Bachelorette, basically, and it was just so fun and interesting, and I loved it. Then I listened to The Midnight Library. This is heavier topics because there's like talks of suicide and stuff, but it was interesting. It was probably not my cup of tea, but it was really good. Then I listened to Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This was so hyped up from last year. Holy cow. Everyone was talking about it. And I understand that people liked it, but it wasn't for me. It was a lot of the same things I've seen in other fantasy books because I'm a huge fantasy person. And it just was not my favorite. There wasn't a lot going on, and there wasn't a lot of original stuff. So I did not love that book. to add on to that a little, because I didn't really go in detail, I liked it. It was a good book and it was fun to read. It wasn't my personal favorite. And there were certain things about it that I just didn't love. But it was still a very enjoyable read. So just to clear that up. Then I listened to Allegiant. This is a re-listen to because it's the third book in the Divergent series, but I just never finished the ending because I got bored. And I really wanted to figure out what actually happened because I heard stuff and the end of the movie is very different from the end of the book. Let's just put it that way. It was really interesting, but the first book is just the best. The next two are slightly annoying. And I hate it when you go from the couple getting together to the couple having so much problems and breaking up and then getting back together and then being annoying. It makes me mad. Like, maybe that's real life, yeah, but I don't want real life. I want them to be happy and together. And then I listened to Nor Goes Off Script. This was absolutely fantastic. It was my favorite romance book, probably of all time at the moment. Although there is like a spice scene, it's not explicit and it's kind of closed door. It's just, I hate spice in books. They're just so useless and pointless. Like, but that book was just so fun and interesting. So yeah. Then I listened to Lord of the Rings. Oh, I never talked about this. Hold on. Let's rewind a little. I listened to this in like May, maybe April of last year. And I loved it. It was like really relatable at sometimes. And there's a little bit of swearing, but it's a romance, no spice, amazing, fun, banter-filled, amazing. So yeah, that was at the beginning of the year. And then I listened to Fellowship of the Rings. This took a little bit to get into, but the world building and the characters and the found family are so fun and I loved it, and I need to read the next two so I can get obsessed with the series and watch the movies. Then I listened to How to Walk Away, also by Catherine Center, and that one was like absolutely devastating and so good at the same time, and like, oh, I loved it. It's like a romance with also heavier topics. That was fantastic. Then I listened to The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I love that series so much. The first book was fantastic. It was a reread also. But so good. Love that series so much. Then I listened to Jane Eyre. I read like the first half and then needed a little help to get going. Fantastic book, classic novel, romance, amazing. Then I listened to Betting on You a second time just because I loved it so much and I needed a refresh. And it was fantastic the second time. And yes, I am counting this as two books because it was separated by at least 6 months. At least. It has to be. And I pretty much forgot half of the things that happened except the major plot points. I love this book so much. There's too much swearing though. That is just one thing I don't like about this romance. Why romance? There's just a little too much swearing. But I loved it the second time around just as much as the first. The kitten is so funny to me. Okay, then I DNF'd A Deadly Education because it just was not, that's not my cup of tea, and I thought it might be, but it wasn't. It's like dark academia. Then I tried to listen to Ruthless Vows. I have to get to that. I just haven't yet because I just need to be in the mood to listen to it, and I haven't been so far. Okay, then I listened to Murder Road. This is like a horror, but it's an on the edge of just thriller. Also adult, not my favorite. It was good though. It was a fun, interesting plot, but not my favorite. Then I listened to Reckless, second book in the Powerless series. Also, kind of a filler book. Kind of good. A lot of the same things from the first book happened. Not my favorite, but I'm excited for Fearless. Then I listened to An Ember in the Ashes, and this is like one of my new favorite war political fantasy series. It's so good. I'm trying to start the fourth book now, but haven't gotten there yet. Then I listened to The Champions. Did I already talk about The Cheerleaders? I'm not sure, but I listened to The Cheerleaders and then The Champions. It was kind of good, kind of similar to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, just with a lot brazier stuff happening, and like it's mystery if you didn't get that. Those were good. Also not my favorite. I listened to a lot of mid books this year, like crazy amount. Then I listened to Summer Romance. That one was good. Not my absolute favorite, as a lot of these books are, but it was a fun romance, and I think there's little to no spice but it is adult. Then I listened to Box in the Woods, the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. Didn't love this as much as the first 3 because the first 3 are in a school in that setting and on the same murder, and this is a different murder in the summer at a summer camp. So kind of changed everything, but it was still good. Then I listened to A Torch Against the Night, the 2nd book in the Ember and the Ashes series. Pretty good. Had a lot of stuff going on. Pretty good. Then I listened to The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Also not my favorite because the plot is just weird and the romance is wacky and there's so much going on that I can't keep track of anything, but it's still interesting and I'm still gonna read the next one and the next after that because she keeps writing more. It's kind of crazy, but slightly weird. Not gonna lie. It's like riddle, romance, general fiction. I don't really know. Then I listened to Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is a thriller, mystery, adult. It was interesting in a snowstorm. Forgot kind of what it was about. Then I listened to The Paradise Problem. If this is the book I'm thinking of, it was really good. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 spice scenes that I had to skip over, but it was also really interesting and fun, and yeah, just fun to go along with. Then I listened to We Were Liars, which was the most insane, crazy thing ever that I listened to. It's Summer I Turned Pretty combined with If He Had Been With Me. It was insane. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like a romance fiction at a beach. Then I listened to 5 Total Strangers. This one was really good. It's road trip, mystery, thriller vibes. Super good. Absolutely loved it. Then I listened to Wrath of the Triple Goddess, the Percy Jackson book, the newest one. That one was also really fun. Once again, Percy and Annabeth and Grover don't seem like they've matured at all, even though they're both in college, and it's still fun. I love Percy Jackson series. Love it so much, and it's a comfort thing to me. Just going slightly downhill for me because I'm getting older and they're not. Then I listened to Mad About You by, I think, Vari McFarlane. I don't know if that's how you say the name. That's how Haley Fam says it, I'm pretty sure. That one was super good. It's about a wedding photographer who's about to go to a wedding to take pictures, and the groom leaves. So she like wonders what's happening, and then she moves in with a new roommate who actually happens to be the groom that left. And it was a really fun premise, and I just loved it. But I think it's adult. I think there should be no spice. I could be wrong, but it's like a romance. Then I listened to The Cabin. I DNF'd that. That's by Natasha Preston. That book was so weird. I just did not feel like listening to it at all. Then I listened to Fairest. That is not it. Fairest. This is a Snow White retelling with magic. I think it's Snow White. It was really good, actually. Very fun. Interesting concept. It's like singing is a power or something. Then I listened to Where Sleeping Girls Lie, which was super weird and kind of strange, and I didn't love some of the things that happened in it, but it was good. It was a mystery, kind of like Truly Devious and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but also not at the same time. But it's at a school, and it's about like the cliques and bad things that happen between them and people dying and going missing. So that was interesting. Also not my favorite. Then I listened to The 7-Year Slip. This was a romance with magical realism. It was really fun and interesting, and I love the concept. I think there is like 1 or 2 not explicit spice scenes. I could be wrong. I don't fully remember, and I feel bad because I'm supposed to be actually enlightening you guys and not just making you more confused. But that one was fun and interesting, and I love the concept, and it was so good. I loved it. Then I listened to And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This one was really interesting. I did not see the plot twist coming. It's a mystery. And yeah, that was good. Then I listened to The Lost Ticket. It's a romance, no spice, super fun. Loved it and adorable. So good. Then I listened to Gallant by V. Schwab. This one was like a fever dream. It was like Coraline combined with The Secret Garden. It was so weird, but it was good. Half of it didn't make sense, but then at the end it like actually started to make sense. So yeah, it was interesting. Then I listened to, I DNF'd Archer's Voice because it got too spicy and I just didn't feel like caring at all. Archer seems nice, but I don't really care at this point. Then I listened to Belladonna. This has a small, it's supposed to be YA, but it has a small spice scene. It's a fantasy where a girl falls in love with death. Spice, there's only one, and it's not like a bad explicit spice scene. It's like super mild and it's easy to skip over. It's like at the end of chapter 40 or something like that. Then I listened to Foxglove, the second book in that series. Also had one minor spice scene. And then I listened to Aragon, super good. It's like Fourth Wing, but before Fourth Wing was a thing. And I don't think there's romance yet. I don't know if there will be. There probably will be, because an elf girl is in it at some point. But I loved it a lot, and I can't wait to read the rest of the series. I think it might be a trilogy, but I'm not sure. It's super good though. If you like Fourth Wing and dragons, you should definitely read it. Then I listened to The Dare by Natasha Preston. That one was also really good. I mean, also, the last Natasha Preston I said I didn't like. I like Natasha Preston usually, except The Cabin. That one was not what I like. The Dare was really good. It was kind of crazy, but it was really good. Then I listened to the last book actually I listened to is The Mysterious Affair at Styles, another Agatha Christie book. This one was fun and interesting, and it's Pirates mystery. There's like a whole little series of his mysteries, and this is the first one of his. So, and I got all of his, I think, for Christmas, so I'm gonna try and read all of them. It was fun, interesting, and yeah, I would like to read the rest. It's super short too, so easy to read. Yeah, it's pretty good. So those were all of the audiobooks I read in 2024. There was a million. I'm not sure how many there actually were. And I feel like there were more DNFs that I just didn't say because that's just boring. I DNF a lot of audiobooks because either I go into them without knowing much, or I go into them without realizing that they're either super spicy or just not my type at all. So those go in the trash. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. There was so many books in this whole thing for 2024. Make sure to come back soon, hopefully for another video. I have to really step on the production of these videos soon, because the last couple days I've pretty much just been reading, and I'd like to start filming more videos. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Cheers!